Well, I'm back at Monk Lakes. I'm on the members lakes again, and I've had one straight away. I've literally had the rods in 2 minutes. This has gone off. It's £19, so pretty good start. I'm going to get this back and talk about where I'm casting, what baits I'm using, and hopefully I'll get a few more over the next 2 nights. Yeah, right. Well, I've slipped that cart back, and now I'm going to actually talk about where I'm casting, what baits I'm using, what rigs I'm using as well. After last time I couldn't actually get back into the swim that I wanted. I managed to get back in the swim that I did so well on, where I got a PB coming from, so I'm back in here, and yeah, rod's in 2 minutes and it goes, so that's pretty good. Last time I fished in this swim I had 2 on the island on a similar spot, and I only got 1 rod just going every time. And so the spot on the island is literally, there's a bit of a hanging branch, and below it is quite a firm spot that I found last time, and that was the only spot that went, so that's 1 rod on there. And the other one, I thought, instead of putting it 6 foot apart and fishing load of bait over the top, which I did last time, I decided to put one right on the end of the island, on the right hand side of the island that is. On the corner there's a hanging branch, and I keep seeing carp there. Last time I was here I could see them on that spot, and I've seen them straight away when I turned up, so I thought might as well have one on that and try it out. I was told that it's a good spot by a few people, so you know, might as well have a go at that spot. Maybe it might get me a bonus carp or 2, you never know. The margin one is pretty much exactly the same. There's a row of trees that goes all along, and when it stops there's a little gap, and that's pretty much where I'm baiting up. It's a little marker for myself, and then I'm casting from the swim, casting straight onto the spot. I already know how far I need to cast as well, so it's bang on the spot every time. The ones that I'm fishing spread apart on the island, they're both on helicopter setups with Ronnie rig. One is on a ocean fruit 12mm yellow pop-up, and the other one is on an all nut Dumbell Wafter tipped off a microplastic corn, and the one in the margin is on a lead clip setup on a Ronnie rig, and that one is on an all nut Dumbell Wafter tipped off a microplastic corn. 4 spoms on each one that's on the island, and the one in the margin I've literally put a couple of scoops over the top, about 4 or 5. The mix is made up of sweet corn, 12mm all nut boilies bottom baits, and I've got some 15mm red lobsters that I've basically just put in half, and I've also got some 6mm all nut pellets and 6mm red lobster pellets. I'm also adding a bit of red lobster glug into there just to add a bit more attraction, as well as a bit of oil and a bit of scent. I think it's pretty good tactic. It's been doing really well recently on it. I've had all my bites so far on this lake pretty much using the same tactic, same sort of baits, so I'm confident that I'll get a few. I've had one already, so you never know, I might get a couple. Who knows. I've got 2 nights as well, so I've got a bit more time than I have usually on this lake, so let's see if I can get a few more, and hopefully I'll get a decent one as well. Well, it's been a little while since I had that bite. Nothing's really happened. It's been pretty quiet. That particular carp actually was on the margin rod. I know, on the all nut Dumbell Wafter. Last time I was fishing it did me two bites, and before that it did me 2. So it's a pretty good bait, and it's a very good spot as well on that area. Literally just down the margins. It's pretty shallow, but I've been seeing a lot of carp swimming around in the bay, and I thought I'm going to get a quick bite here. And yeah, I did. So kind of thought that, kind of expected that. But at the moment nothing else has happened. The island is pretty quiet at the moment, even though I have seen the odd carp roll and swim up and down. Nothing's really happened on those areas. The weather sort of changed a little bit. It's gone very cloudy, and the temperature's dropped a little bit, which is weird because we've got a good couple of hours until it goes dark, and it shouldn't really be that cooler by now really. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. I hope it don't rain or anything. But the only thing is, it's meant to rain tomorrow. All tomorrow is meant to rain. That's either going to spur the carp on to feed, or it's absolutely going to kill it. Who knows? But I'm sure some oxygen in the water with the rain coming down. You know, it's slightly cooler. It won't be so sunny. Maybe it might be quite good. We'll see anyway. I'm just hoping that I'll get a bite before it gets dark, but if not, it doesn't really matter too much. There's a chance of getting a bite overnight, and there's also a very good chance of getting a bite first thing in the morning, so there's plenty of bites to come, and there's plenty of carp in here to catch, and they're definitely on the feed, but they just sunning themselves today. It's been quite hot, so I'm sure I'm going to get a couple more over my session. I'm just going to keep going and hope that I get a few more. Well, last night was pretty quiet, nothing really happened. A couple of ducks managed to smack into my lines and set them off, the alarms, but that's it really. Not much happening. Early morning it started raining, you can probably hear it, it's coming down quite a bit. It's pretty miserable really. Nothing's happened this morning as well. I was expecting to get like an early morning bite, and it's been silent really. Ever since they spawned, they have been a bit more challenging to get hold of. They don't seem to feed as much, and yeah, it's a bit more challenging. The only thing else that happened was I put my kettle down on the floor for about 2 minutes, and I got 1,000 ants attached to it, and I couldn't get them all off, and yeah. I'm definitely not going to put a cup on the floor or a kettle on the floor, because there's about 1,000 ants on this floor. For some reason, everything I'm putting down on the floor is getting covered in them. Yeah, apart from ant attack, and the frogs were going crazy, making all these noises and stuff last night, and for some reason they were louder at night than they were in the this morning. They're pretty quiet this morning, but yeah, last night they were pretty loud. Last time I was in the swim, they were really annoying, but you know, I can't do anything about it. I just heard one. Oh no. Oh great. Yeah, I can hear them now. Yeah, they're back again. Right. So far nothing's happened, so the only thing I can do is to bring all the rods in, check all the hook baits, recast them. Maybe there could be a tangle, but hardly unlikely. You know, maybe the smell on the bait has gone a little bit, so maybe refreshing it might give me a quicker bite, or maybe just recasting it just give me a bit more confidence that they're all perfect, and see what happens today really. It's meant to be raining all day today. It's meant to be much cooler than it was yesterday. I think yesterday was like 22 degrees. Today is meant to be like 16. So a lot cooler. I thought that might get them to feed a lot more because it's a lot cooler and it's not sunny. But I think I've got to wait until the afternoon to see if that's going to be true or not. If not, then it's going to be a challenging day. But usually about, I don't know, about 2 onwards is probably the best chance of me getting a few bites. But considering I've only had 1 so far, you know, it's going to be hard. There is big carp in here, so I'm going to keep going, and hopefully something happens today. But it's going to be a very miserable day sitting here watching the rods and looking at the rain. So it's going to be a bit miserable. I'm going to put some effort in
and give it a couple of hours and see what happens. I may actually put a few more bombs or a couple of scoops out, you know, refresh some bait out there as well, but I probably won't do that until the afternoon. But for now I'm just going to change the hook baits and see what happens, and then, you know, I think the afternoon is probably going to be the best time, so I'm going to keep going with it. You know, it's definitely harder now, but I need to keep going, and hopefully I get one of them decent carp.
Well, we managed to get another one. Refreshing that hook bait and recasting got me a really quick bite. I managed to get a £2 little common, which was great. And then I recast, put a bit more bait in, and I had this one. £14, not exactly a monster, but I'm hoping that the bites will continue. It's absolutely chucking down with rain, but I reckon there's a good chance of getting a couple more today. So I'm going to keep going, and hopefully we'll get that bigger one soon. Let's get him back. Ugh. Well, it's been a couple of hours since I had that carp. Nothing's really happened. It's been pretty quiet. Not much going on really. Nothing I can really do. I might actually put some more bait in over the top of pretty much all the rods really. I think I might even put more in on the rod that went. The rod that went actually was the same one that went before. It's the one in the margin on the All Nut Wafter. It's doing right on that spot. I think it's because it's in a bay that there's only really 2 swimmers that can actually reach it, and at the moment there's no one else on the lake, so you know there's pretty much going to be carp in there at some stage or another, and they're just going to be sitting in there thinking they're not going to be caught. I think that's the reason I've caught the odd one, but I just think that there should be more. I should be getting more, but I'm going to keep trying and keep going. Like I said, I'm just going to put some more bait in over the top of each one, including that one that went. I did put a little bit more in after recasting, but I think I'm going to put a bit more in on that spot, just so there's a bit of fresh bait there really. I mean, it was a good couple of hours ago and nothing's really happened since, and the ones on the island have done absolutely nothing, so yeah, refresh the hook bait probably later, and then, but for now I'm just going to put a little bit more bait in and see what happens. Coming into sort of the best time of the day on this lake as well. Late afternoon always does probably the most bites really, even though I did have one this morning and something did happen. It's usually in the afternoons and late evenings are usually the best, but you never really know. You can get bites at night as well, so you know there isn't really that much consistency in this lake, but you know I'll keep going and keep trying things and keep going, and even when I think there's not going to get a bite, you know, you never know, it could happen, so I'm going to keep going. The only problem I've got is it won't stop raining still. It's still absolutely chucking it down out there. It's been pretty miserable all day really, but I'm just hoping I can get at least one more, I think, before it gets dark, and that's my plan anyway, so let's see.
managed to get another one. This one from the island, which is my first bite from there. All the other ones have been coming in the margins. This one's on the ocean fruit yellow 12mm pop-up. £17. Not exactly a monster, but God, is it long. It's a really long common for its size anyway. Right, let's get it back and hopefully I'll get one more for the end of the session. Let's see. Right, let's get it back. Well, managed to get another one. This is actually from the end of the island, on the all nut wafter, tips off microplastic corn. Yeah, I think this carp is probably normally a 20, but it's down on weight because of spawning, but doesn't matter too much. At least I've had another one, and on the all nut as well. The all nut is doing the business at the moment. The ocean fruit was doing really well for me, but it seems to have died down a little bit on this lake. Maybe the all nut just blends in a bit better, maybe it doesn't stand out too much. Now we're getting into summer, maybe coming away from the bright colours is going to do me more bites in this lake. So I'm going to get it back and hopefully we get another one before I have to go. I've only got a couple of hours left, so let's see.
Well, didn't manage to get anything else, but I had a really good session. I tried really hard. Didn't manage to catch many big carp, but managed to catch quite a few. I'm happy with what I've got, and maybe next time I'll get something bigger. You never know. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.